questions for you this morning. Do you know your credit score, and are you happy with it? Well, today's the perfect day to learn how to bump that number up, and you can do it for sure. It may seem a little daunting at first, but there are some things that you can do starting today in order to get that number raised a little bit. So Dave Miller with First Horizon Bank is here to talk a little bit more about this, as well as Rob Stiver, who is with Regions Bank here. So we are 1 month away from Financial Literacy Day, which falls on July 20th for a reason, 7/20. Let's start there. First of all, what is this campaign all about, Dave?
Yeah, we're really focusing on, with the 720, helping bring awareness to how important it is to have a good credit score. Ideally, you want your credit score to be in the, mid to high 700s, above that 720 range. And when you do that, it really helps you get access to credit. So whether that's buying a home and getting a mortgage, buying a car, it can be really important when it comes to renting an apartment or getting insurance. And so really, it's just about bringing awareness to the importance of your credit score and knowing what it is, but then also on July the 20th and right around July the 20th, we've got some great free resources that can help people in the community understand where their credit is and get that credit score up. Yeah,
and you are partnering with other financial organizations too. Rob, can you maybe speak about your role?
Yeah, so, thank you to First Horizon for really leading this charge and Resta and the community partners getting involved in this, because it is such an important thing for people when they think about, their overall quality of life. And like we were talking about earlier, is, when you think about faith, family, friends, and your finances, and those things being in order really makes a big difference. And so at Regions, we really try to focus a lot on helping people understand, their credit score, but also their overall financial plan and their financial wellness. Yeah. And this is just a great opportunity from the broader perspective of the community to help in that messaging.
Absolutely. And in the very beginning of this, I mentioned there are some steps that you can take in order to take control of your finances. Maybe you can walk us through some of those steps today, Dave.
Yeah. Well, certainly one thing is if you're, and I know we'll put up the URL here in a minute. There are a number of free workshops available to the community on the 20th. But in addition, it is a good first step is knowing what your credit score is. There are apps like Credit Karma that can help you understand it. Each of the credit bureaus will provide you with a free credit report every year, so there are ways that you can understand what your credit score is. And then after that, you'll learn techniques to really manage that credit score up, paying your bills on time, making sure you're thoughtful about how much of your revolving credit limits, like credit card limits that you use. Having older credit accounts that are paid as agreed can really help you. And that's really, I would encourage, folks to explore some of these resources, because credit scores are complicated, and so getting an understanding of how that score works and what you can do is important. But the number one thing you can do, pay your bills and pay them on time.
Absolutely. And this advice that you've offered here is kind of a small slice of what people can expect coming up in a month. So on July 20th, can you walk us through maybe some of the workshops and classes provided for free, by the way, completely free?
Yeah, so I think, you get a bunch of the professionals, and Dave and I laughed. We said, we're going to get the real experts in to help talk about those things. But really, just making sure that we can walk through the individuals in their situation and their circumstances, so that we can try to tailor it to people in smaller groups to help, and then broader groups, so that each can learn from each other of like what we're talking about, good debt versus bad debt, those different types of things. But again, paying your bills on time, making sure that you get the right types of limits for your credit cards, and that you're not getting too far out of whack with what your incomes are. That's another big one, and making sure that you're not overloaded with the debt.
All very important to keep in mind. So we do have both of those QR codes up on your screen right now. These are for both Blount County and Knox County. Free workshops, free classes offered all day long on July 20th. We're about a month out from that date, so make sure you're prepared. Mark it down on your calendar. You'll get free financial advice to really take control of your finances and your life.
Absolutely.
All right, Dave and Rob, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We're going to go ahead and take a short break, and we'll be right back.